My name is Chase McCormick, and I am terrible with money. Well, that's not true. I am really good at spending it. I'm a starving artist who no longer wanted to starve. I make paintings that nobody wants to look at, music that nobody wants to listen to, clothes that nobody wants to wear, and movies that nobody wants to produce. While I initially started working in finance to fund my creative endeavors, I quickly fell in love with my new role and company. I was selected to be the new social media and events coordinator at the most fun firm in finance. While I don't know much about finance, I've certainly developed an interest to start investing in my future. That's why I thought it would be exciting for me to sit down with financial experts at our company, because if they can teach it to me, they can teach it to you. Please remember that nothing we say here should be taken as personal advice. This conversation is for entertainment purposes only. If you have questions about your financial situation, please talk to a licensed financial advisor. Is like, I'm trying to shoot for the stars. Like, I get fucking, Sage on the pod. It's like, we're going to have a good time, but I'm not like, dreaming about that day.
Nothing but trouble on my mind. That's the attitude that got my ass off the sideline.
I don't want to work.
That's
right.
part of your problem. You don't want to work.
Yeah, turn it back
Dude,
up.
roll up your sleeves. Let's get to work.
Boy, let's get to work. All right. Welcome back to Finding Finance, episode 7 or 8, officially re-green lit. Dropping our first episode a week from today. Very excited about that. Even more excited to have our good friend, Sage Casaga, CFP, in the building. It's amazing to have you here, Sage. How are you feeling today?
Feeling great. Thanks for having me, Chase.
I wanted somebody to be on here for the Halloween episode. They told me I couldn't wear a costume. They told me I couldn't paint my face. They told me I couldn't do this, that. Well, you know what? I'm here.
Jeez, we're not talking about Halloween.
I don't know what that.
Before we get started, which camera am I supposed to be looking at?
So that's my camera, but that's also my camera. You just kind of look into, whatever you're feeling.
Sage, you look at this camera.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, or you just look at Alex too. People tend to look at Alex. He's cute as
One on the other podcast.
Oh, okay.
You already said that.
So why did you not know what camera to look at then?
This was making sure.
Okay. Well, now you know. Can I do my classic, hey, Alex?
I think to start this off, a good
Hey,
idea,
Alex.
Chase, would be to...
Talk about Halloween. Okay.
no, I was going to...
Halloween episode. I was thinking about wearing a dress.
All right. Instead of talking about Halloween, tell me a little bit about your story.
Okay. Well, I was actually going to ask you about your story, which is crazy. You're from California.
Correct.
And you're good at golf. You have a brother named Cade. You went to Cal Poly, and you recently joined a country club.
Sounds about right.
Oh, looks like we've got our first call in today. Is this our first call in?
Yes, it might be.
Hey, welcome to the show. You're on live on Finding Finance. We're just getting our call-in episode started. We've got therapist Sage Casaga on the line here to answer your questions. Who am I speaking with?
You're speaking with Cooper.
Cooper, great to have you, brother. How you doing today?
Dude, I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Where are you calling in from, Cooper?
I'm calling in from Oregon, Southern Oregon, town outside of Eugene, where University of Oregon's located.
Okay. Well, thanks for calling in. Alex, you went to Oregon, right?
How did you get Cooper to call it?
Surprise!
Cooper, I think I know you.
Yeah, I think I know an Alex.
That's Sage. Cooper was one of my roommates all of college. And we're going to Mexico together in January.
Well, I figured it's the Halloween episode. We had to do something a little extra spooky today, so why not scare Alex a little bit, get him a little surprised, a little, cautious of whatever is about to happen over the next hour.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, well, Alex, it's good to hear your voice.
Yeah, I love you, Cooper. Thanks for calling in.
Oh, the feeling's mutual. I love you too, Alex.
Coop, we're very curious though. Do you have any questions? It could be financial, it could be relationship, it could be ethical. We've got financial mastermind Sage Casaga here of Sage Advice. You may have heard of it, here to answer your questions. Is there anything on your mind today?
Oh man, that's when isn't a financial question crossing my mind.
Facts.
But I'm looking at my beautiful baby boy right here, my 2-year-old dog.
You got a kid, bro?
Dog.
No,
you got a
it's
dog.
It's a dog.
Gotta listen.
Oh, I thought he called me dog.
There's your first piece of advice, Chase. You gotta listen just a little bit more.
Man, he sounds like everyone I've ever talked to in my life. That's amazing. I thought he was calling me dog, but I guess he's not up with that urban lingo.
We're all dogs at heart.
Let's be honest though. Do you think you might have a kid out there that you maybe don't know about?
Well, I mean, financially speaking, I hope not.
All right, so let's keep this finance related. Cooper,
All right,
do you have anything? I do believe that Sage is your financial advisor. Is that correct?
Yes, he is. He's my fiduciary.
What are we even doing here? My fiduciary. That's crazy.
Who's your financial advisor, Chase?
I got Mia, bro. Ever heard of her? Best financial advisor at GK?
How's it been going?
Good, bro. She's keeping me on track.
Nice.
Every month. And I'm making contributions, even upped them because of this podcast.
So why don't we have Cooper ask a question for Sage, or he's a viewer. He's responded to some of our posts so far. So
that's true.
Or you can just brag about me.
Yeah. How is Sage doing as a financial advisor?
Doing so good. He's bringing finances to the Commonwealth.
Yeah.
Your everyday average phone scroller, doom scrollers are learning some things today.
That's big.
It's awesome. But I do have a question, actually. In light of my furry son here, like, how would you budget animal care? Does it get its own budget? Does it go into like recreation? Does it go into how would you budget that?
Good question. I mean, how much do you care about your furry friend?
more than myself.
More than yourself. Wow.
Classic.
Wow.
He deserves the best.
Own category then. Let's put that in its own category.
That's what I like to hear. Okay. Cool.
Dang. And do you have pet insurance?
No,
that's another podcast.
I actually heard y'all talk about that. Yeah, I heard y'all mention that.
You got to go watch our other podcast.
Yeah, the episode with Steve. So, I mean, it's nice to hear a listener calling in. I know we haven't dropped any episodes yet, but you've been seeing the clips, and we talked about affording a kid on our last episode. We talked about affording an animal on the episode before that. It's nice to know that we're actually covering some topics people might be interested in.
Yeah, it's actually super relevant because I'm wanting to get a cat too, and the cat distribution system's chosen me. There's like a cat that lives outside my apartment, and she's super sweet, and I'm like, I can't really afford another animal, but it's pretty important to consider. So
I think you can do it.
If you don't want me to ever come visit you, get a cat, because I'm really allergic to cats. So,
dude, I'm allergic to cats too, bro. Let's go. All fur animals.
Oh, no, we love dogs, and we love cats too, but I personally love dogs a little bit more. So
why don't we let Sage answer? What was the question?
Back
Cooper?
to finance.
What was the question? You said
I think it was
own category for budgeting out pet care.
Okay.
As opposed to being
in a miscellaneous category.
Got it.
At the end of the day,
is this live? Are you guys live?
Yeah, we're live, baby.
No,
that's awesome.
It's not live.
Yeah. It's live. What does live even mean?
It's being pre-recorded.
Don't you work in marketing?
I mean, I was talking more spiritually, but all right, Coop, thank you for calling in. We got one final question for you before you go. What are you going to be for Halloween?
Oh man, I'm being Scooby and my dog's being Shaggy.
I'm
Shaggy and my dog's Scooby.
That's amazing.
There was so much more we could have talked about. I mean, this is my client that we just brought on, and you just talked about what he's going to be for Halloween.
You weren't even asking him any questions. Let's talk in depth about your financial situation live on this podcast. Why not?
Chase, why don't you let Sage talk to Cooper?
Do you guys want my SSN?
Yeah.
Do you want my DOP and SSN?
Let Sage talk to Cooper.
I think I already have one, but it wouldn't hurt to have two, right?
You're not the advisor. Sage the advisor.
Kind of like my Roth and my other Roth.
Cooper, how much more time do you have?
I have as much time as you guys need.
Let's go.
Well, why don't we do this? Tell us about a little bit about your story, what kind of goals you're working on, and the experience that you've had in working with an advisor. and how that's helped you from maybe an educational standpoint or thinking about your finances.
Oh, totally. Yes, absolutely. I'll try to give the quick spiel, you know.
You can make it brief.
I think
Give them the spiel.
I'm from like a middle class family. I was not raised with any financial literacy at all, other than like spend money to buy things. And so I got off to college and I started meeting people who knew a thing or two and started befriending, you know, like Alex and Griffin and so up to like Preston and people who were talking about this stuff a lot more. And so it kind of got onto my horizon a bit. And then I met Sage at Alex's bachelor party or wedding weekend. And we kind of just took off from there. Or actually, Sage, I met you like a year before. I met you at the engagement party.
That's right.
And so we started talking and I budgeted out at the time how much money I had to put aside and started putting some money into my 401k and my, I don't know all the terms. I'm still pretty financially illiterate.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's what this podcast is about, honestly. So we'll figure it out.
I'm trying. Yeah.
We'll
yeah. It's just all about exposure. Sure. Yes. Yeah. I'm not all who are lost or not. What is it? Not all who are wandering are lost or some.
Never even heard the saying before. So you're good on all fronts.
Lord of the Rings. Gotta get cultured on Middle Earth, but,
all right. I'm with it.
That's pretty much it.
I'm with it.
I'm just contributing my monthly dues. I'm hoping to increase how much I contribute.
Bro, you know they upped me to $600 a month contributions.
Dang. Okay, I got to catch up. I'm up.
Yeah, you're at 500. Yeah. What's up now?
Okay, we're on a finance podcast here. We're not in your college.
All right. But let's just do this.
I have a fun fact.
All right.
Did you guys know that 99% of Warren Buffett's net worth was accumulated after
he turned 50? Yeah,
nope,
I said that on the last episode.
65.
All right.
I mean, 99% of like 200 billion is still like 500 million or something. Or what? 1%? I don't know.
All right, we'll move on.
Math.
Coop, we just need one last thing before we let you go. Would you be willing to commit on this podcast live to matching me at $600 a month contributions?
Yes, let's go.
Can I get a firm commitment?
Yeah, dude. If I could handshake right now, or
let's
sign a
go.
paper,
I'm looking at the camera right now, handshaking you. All right.
I'm looking at the phone.
Oh
looking at the camera.
And I know you like what you see too.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
All right. Well, thank you for calling in, Coop. We'd love to have you back on the show anytime.
Dude, yes, it's been great.
As I find finance, yeah, you're now a part of the journey.
Yes. All right, we'll get there together.
All right, thanks, Coop. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too, dog.
Bye, puppy.
I didn't even ask his name.
Scooby, bro.
That was crazy.
I kind of liked because I thought
we're done calling people.
No, we got a ton of people calling in, but I liked that he said that at first he up where he said, "I'm going as Scooby and my dog's going as Shaggy," which that's hilarious costume if you think about it. You flip it with the animals.
Chase, we've been talking now for like 20 minutes and we've talked like two things finance.
Dude, that was good. What do you mean? I had one of your clients. I'm not going to act like I knew he was your client, but I knew it was Alex's friend. So I was like, told him to call in. All right, let's get into it. I was going to ask you, describe
he just emailed me.
Did he?
Yeah.
600, bro. And you're welcome for that too. They better be talking about that on the Friday meeting. I'm bringing in business.
All right. Let's move on.
All right. Describe your clients in one word.
Grateful.
Grateful. And they should be grateful for you or you're grateful for them?
Both.
Okay. I like that. It is business after all. All right. So we got this. Sage is from California. We did that. He's a CFP.
I've lived in Southern California my whole life.
And you lived in Temecula?
I grew up in Murrieta. It's right next to Temecula.
Okay, so my sister was actually just there for volleyball training. Do you know Dennis by any chance? No? Okay, well, good volleyball trainer, I think. I mean, I've heard good things. What's like your favorite like movies that you've ever seen?
Didn't you make a movie once?
Yeah, I made a lot of movies.
That's my favorite.
Oh, thanks, Sage. It's really sweet. Kind of weird that you've seen my but that's fine.
Okay.
I'm glad it's your favorite. What's the best meal you've had recently?
Probably just Italian food. I'm Italian, so.
Hey, and now we're learning things. Casaga. Hey, Casaga. That's cool.
You got it.
What's your Italian? Are you an Alfredo guy, cone broccoli? You like the meats? You like the baked ziti? Do you like the massacholi? Do you like the prosciutto? What's kind of your game?
I like anything Italian. My grandpa was full Italian, so
Okay.
would make me a quarter.
Hey, so let's talk about finance stuff.
I was gonna bring up actually, like, do you think Italians are good with money or?
Oh, let's get racial. I don't know.
Okay, all right, we're moving on.
What? You just asked. That's a good question. Italians.
Anyways,
you're Italian. You're a financial advisor.
This is a podcast for you, right? We're trying to help you find finance.
Why did he come with his own questions? That's not how this is.
No, we can talk about me, but like, I'm trying to help you.
I know,
and you're not helping yourself. So let's talk about it. Like, tell me your story. How were you raised to think about money and your finances?
I mean, Alex, did you tell him to bring questions, or what are we doing here? I've got this whole list of questions prepared, ethical debates. I've had people writing in all day different questions. Should we take a viewer question to start?
You don't want to answer that? Simple question. I can't help you if you can't answer that.
My best childhood friend works at Tesla, and so I actually hit him up and said, hey, could you write in an ethical question specifically about like Tesla bots and shit like that?
Here's what happened.
Taking questions from him.
Chase, Sage is my advisor. And I thought, and he's done such a good job helping me throughout the years. I thought it would be smart to have him come on and maybe, whip you into shape or trying to help you because you've been
So this was a setup.
Yeah, you've been making some mistakes and you haven't really been listening to the advice you've been given.
You got to listen more.
So this was a setup. Is that what you set me up?
Yeah, so it's time to listen to what
this
Sage
guy
has to say.
Okay, but you have to think about this. You're also my honorary second in command, second advisor, so it's kind of your fault too that I'm in this predicament.
No, I try so hard to get you to not spend money.
And I upped my contributions.
Alex isn't a licensed advisor.
And you're not a licensed therapist, yet you're giving out advice.
I was a psychology minor.
Okay, so let's take an ethical question. I've got a few.
I was a psychology major.
Were you really?
Yeah.
All right, so someone wrote this in. My girlfriend got 5 different Halloween costumes.
So we're gonna move on.
No, that's a good question. Is that a red flag?
I don't even remember the question.
It said, my girlfriend got 5 different Halloween costumes to make sure she can go out both weekends. Is that a red flag?
I think it's a red flag that you keep wanting to avoid talking about finance.
Oh my God, we do this on every episode. I have no money. I have a 401k.
Okay, you have no money. You have no money, but
I have some money.
Did your parents teach you about money, or how were you raised?
I would say medium.
Give me something to work with.
I would say medium. Yeah, they did teach me around money. They were very hardworking, like frugal, but also not very good with money, if that makes sense. So like, basically, my parents are always. Our whole kind of family shtick is our whole family shtick has sort of been like being the poorest in the richest like area, right? So grew up in a really nice neighborhood, but like smallest house on the street, like never paid it off in 20 years. But then it's like also, surrounded by rich people. So it's like, did I go to the #1 school?
Kind of like keeping up with the Joneses.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds, I was like more like keeping up with the Cabreras. It's like, okay, I've got Miguel Cabrera down the street, or I've got Justin Verlander and Kate Upton live 3 houses down from me. But it's like they probably had the, hundreds to 500 times the wealth that we had. Also, like my friends in school that were just like, owned 500 car dealerships, and you're like, it's a complete different level of wealth, but like we're still surrounded by it, but we don't have it. But like I was kind of taught to understand it, if that makes sense.
Nice, that makes sense. Thanks for sharing with me. Finally, did your parents like work with an advisor?
It wasn't necessarily talked about. I know that they did. They definitely saved money. I think my dad actually had a good conversation about this when he was here a couple of weeks ago.
Nice.
I think he said that he really feels like he said he had a line that said like, I'm retiring, within the next 10, 15 years. I think I could have double the amount that I have if I did two things. One, never paused contributions during hard times, and two, had a better financial advisor. Because he explained to me that he told his financial advisor, my dad's very risk adverse, especially in the market. And so he told me that.
How long has he been investing for?
I think decades for sure. Okay. And I think that he said that he told his financial advisor, I want to be very cautious. And instead of like having a balanced portfolio, his portfolio was almost like all bonds, like very little, like extremely cautious, to the point like he didn't really fully understand how cautious he should be. But I know that he wishes he would have been more aggressive in the past, and has seen that it would have made an incredible difference.
And in these conversations, was he working with the advisor on building the portfolio and talking through this, like what it all means, or was he just telling the advisor, "Hey, do this for me. I don't want to invest in the markets"?
I think that he was just like, "Here's the money. Be very frugal with it."
Got it.
And I remember a lot of times growing up, my parents telling me, like, we're just making it month to month. We are barely able to save for our retirement. And that's because we're investing in you, right? We're paying for you to go to this great school. We're paying for you to, have a computer or like whatever that is. And they always made a point that they felt like they were investing in me and my brother more than even their own retirement, because kind of as a parent, they felt it was almost their job, or just because they loved us. And so that was always like a big chip I had on my shoulder. Like, not only was I working, working every weekend, to do this basketball camp to pay for my school, but it was more like seeing my dad take on a second job just to like give us the best education. That's what really meant a lot for me, I think.
And I think it's important to do both, right? Like invest in your kids and their future, and also saving for their retirement, right? And I know it's difficult for a lot of families, but in working with someone, and with someone who is motivated for building a good, future for their kids and their retirement as well, like you can definitely make that work. How did you make it through? Like, how did you work through college then? And tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. So, my parents, like for college for us, they said, we will pay in-state tuition. So they said, we will cover in-state tuition for you.
And so you just picked one of the most expensive schools to go to.
So basically it was kind of like their use of like, okay, are you going to take the easy way out or not? So they're like, you can go. It almost made it like look bad. Like if we're like, okay, we're from this neighborhood of like people that want to do big things in the world. You could go to Michigan State and like, that'd be great. But are you going to go venture out into the world, right? So my brother knew he wanted to work on Wall Street. So he went and studied finance at Fordham University in New York.
He found finance
very early age. Me, on the other hand, I was like, okay, I know I want to work in entertainment. So they said, you're probably going to want to go to a great film school. We love Jesuit schools. So they sent me to LMU. My brother took out debt because he had, pretty solid career ambitions and knew that he'd probably be able to pay it off pretty easily. Me, on the other hand, I was like, okay, I'm studying entertainment. I'm trying to be a white rapper. Maybe I should work 30 hours a week to pay off the remainder of my tuition costs. And guess what? Graduated debt free. So God bless.
Whoa. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Good work. What happened after that?
I started here like a month later.
Oh, all right.
Making $30 an hour as an intern. Woo. $20 an hour, actually. Woo.
And now you're on the saving train.
Bleach t-shirts.
You got no credit card debt. You're
no credit card debt, and that's why I wasn't sure, but I think I'm going to be able to pay. I only ran up after I paid it off early, I'm only at like $800 for my next statement. So that's my lowest one probably ever.
So I don't think people should bank on this, and it's a little bit morbid, but did you know that it's estimated millennials and Gen Z will inherit over $68 trillion by 2030.
Whoa. Damn, really? Man, well, my dad always tells me don't expect anything.
Right.
He's always like,
and
there's no trust fund. I know you think all these, all these people that have trust funds. I want you to realize, expect nothing.
Correct. But if he cares about where his money goes, right, it's important that he has a proper estate plan set up.
That's true.
I've met with, unfortunately, a few people that came to me and they didn't have a proper estate plan set up and they didn't name any beneficiaries on their accounts. And guess where the money goes? Do you know?
Your pocket?
No.
Oh, who gets it? Alex?
Not their pocket either. No.
Don't say it. Don't say it. The
court.
Oh, the court. Okay, I thought you were going to say the
courts
government.
get it. So they basically decide where your money goes.
Oh. So they have to give it to someone or they pocket it? No.
No. If they find that, you were living with a parent or, had siblings that you're very close to and obviously this is part of the legal system, but you hope it makes it to the right people, but it could be held up in probate for many years, right? Whether that's property, cash, investment accounts. So this is why it's important to name beneficiaries and speak with an advisor to talk about an estate plan, like setting up a living trust.
Okay, so what if your beneficiary that you have listed is dead? Where does the money go then?
You need to update your beneficiary then.
But what if you're dead and your beneficiary is dead?
Then it's going to probate.
Damn, and what's probate?
I just explained it to you. It goes to the court, and then they decide where your money goes.
That's probate.
Yeah. Versus,
probate.
What do you think? So who's your beneficiary right now?
My sister.
Your sister.
Trinity. Okay, we're going to call her later in the episode.
What happens if, God forbid, something happens to you? Where does your money go?
I mean, I think to her, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
It goes.
And that's probate.
No, that's not probate.
Damn it. All right. Well, we'll talk about
you're learning. You're learning.
How much should we be spending on a Halloween costume? Would you say?
Less than what you think.
Okay. Cool. And what are your favorite Halloween movies?
No Halloween chase. Halloween.
I should be wearing my carrot costume, and you guys wouldn't let me wear it.
Halloween was 3 months ago.
Halloween is in 2 days.
So should we talk about like New Year's goals then?
Okay, I got a ton of questions.
Well, we don't know exactly when this is coming out, but it's not going to be anytime soon. You
got to have some urgency to get this thing out there.
All right,
people need to know.
We do know. We do know because how many episodes have we recorded? 7?
7, I think.
This is the 8th.
I don't know.
Dude, you're crushing it. So how long have you been on this journey of finding finance?
Like since I got my last haircut, and I have a lot of gel in. So
this is coming.
I don't know when you got your haircut, but how long have you been on this journey? Like seems like you've been at it for a while.
2 months.
Okay.
And this is so this episode will come out in 8 weeks from next Tuesday. That's 2 months.
Okay, I know. This could be my birthday episode. Happy birthday, me, December 20th. Send me a text, would you? All right, so this is a caller question from my friend Benny. He says, if you could legally hack into a person's phone for a day, who would it be? And think about it. There's a lot of good you could do. That's a weird question. There's a lot of good you could do, though.
I mean, you're violating personal privacy.
Okay, but
like, is this a question for you or for me?
I texted
like,
a lot of people.
You would like take people's money or like you would do good stuff with it?
I posted and I said, send us questions because Sage Advice.
This has nothing to do with finance.
Well, I thought it was more like life advice. So I texted my friend. I can give
life advice.
Yeah, I said, can you think of a funny...
You're using valuable knowledge that we have here in the room that we could be talking about finance.
I think it's all valuable.
I agree with you. Yeah. I can give you life advice.
You're good at everything. Dude, you got a minor in psychology. Don't let that go to waste. I texted these people because no one responded to my story. If you haven't followed and don't swipe up on our stories and you don't ask questions, I'm going to be sad. Please do all those things. So I had to text my friends manually. Can you think of a funny ethical question to submit for my podcast? Could be about money, relationships, or anything. So he asked that last one, and then Benny also sent a second question. If you had the chance to double your salary by convincing your coworkers that you can communicate with animals, would you take the leap into absurdity?
Would you do it?
Yeah, I've already tried, and I don't even have any money on the line. It's just trying to impress Mia.
So anyways, to wrap up this estate planning conversation, I work with people to build proper estate plans for, those looking to pass down money down to the next generation. And, I also help make sure someone like you won't lose it all. Because if you got I guess my question would be, if you got $1 million today, what would you do with it?
I'd probably invest it, give it all to Mia, and then ask her what to do with it.
Good answer.
Thank you.
Who are we calling?
Giving my Grammy a ring. Hey, Mom.
Hey, I was thinking about you today.
Oh, I was thinking about you. I'm doing good. I'm actually live on my podcast right now. I wanted to come check in with you.
I like your podcast.
Yeah. I've been loving the feedback. Mia was asking, who's this woman that you commented, I love you with a smirky emoji on? And I said, don't worry, that's my Gam.
You know I love you, bud.
So today I'm actually on with CFP Sage Casaga, who's answering sort of financial questions, moral, ethical questions. He's, a psychology minor, so kind of just whatever people could throw at us. Is there anything, questions that you have financially or otherwise?
Throwing me here.
Okay. Could be estate planning or 401k or what is NVIDIA fully valued? Anything that's just on your mind?
I think credit card stuff is really ties people down. And how does that affect their financial planning?
Good question. Is credit card debt good or bad, would you say, Sage?
No bueno.
No bueno?
But I think she's referring to, like, if you do happen to go into credit card, what do you need to do to kind of get out of it, right? And obviously,
yeah.
Is that what you're referring to?
Well, yeah, and I think a lot of people get caught up in just using their cards without realizing how it keeps going. And especially, I think, like young people, they get stuck in college a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Just becomes the way of life.
Yeah, that's a great point. Did you know that the first credit card was introduced in 1950 after the company, it was called Diners Club. This company, the founder of it realized he had forgotten his wallet at a restaurant. Ooh. And the card was originally a cardboard card for dining expenses. And that's how the credit card was founded. Yes, in 1950.
That's crazy. What was his name again?
Wow.
I'm blanking on the name, but I'll
1950s. That's crazy, though.
Yeah. But in the in terms of history, like this is generally like a newer thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really. It's in my lifetime.
Yeah, and everybody used to pay with cash, even up until like the
cash.
Yeah, like
cash.
Isn't that correct? Don't answer, Chase.
I actually was at Walgreens this morning and handed them cash.
Wow.
Did they take it?
Funny. He took it, and I said, "You don't get that much." He goes, "No, we sure don't."
But this is how credit card companies and banks make a lot of their money. Is people use credit cards, so they borrow money, right? Mm-hmm. You're basically spending with money that you don't have, and it compounds on itself. And these credit card companies make all this interest, can be 20 to 25%. Right on the balance that you owe, and they're able to charge a ton of fees off.
Well, that's what Mia always tells me. She knows I like to be the underdog and do the opposite of expectations. So she always says the credit card company's betting on you that you're not going to be able to pay it back at the end of the month. Right. You got to prove them wrong, and then I'm like, I got to prove them wrong. I'm paying that thing, and then boom, no credit card debt.
Right. Well, that's great. So if you can pay it off at the end of the month, then it's not a problem. But most people don't.
One of the best things I heard is you should always be paying yourself first. Right?
I've never heard that before. What does that mean?
Basically means pay future Chase first, right?
I like it.
So you're putting money away, right? Instead of putting money on your credit card.
Contributions.
You're putting money away and you're paying yourself first. So that you can do the things you want in life, right? Instead of having it snowball the other way and using credit cards and getting into credit card debt, right? And that you got to work on and be able to manage that yourself.
Definitely. Well, wise words from Mr. Sage. Mom, thank you so much for being on the podcast today. One final question before you go. Am I your sole beneficiary?
Since I don't have any money to leave you, I'm leaving you lots and lots of love.
That's all I ever wanted.
That's the best.
Yay! All right, Alex, did you want to say anything to my grandma before she goes?
That was very entertaining. Thanks for calling. Thanks, Chase.
Call again soon, Mom. We love you.
Love you. Mwah.
Mwah.
I would have said I love you too, but
yeah,
I think that would have been
weird. No, I thought it was weird that you didn't.
I'm kind of confused why you call her mom. It's your
grandma.
I thought we were talking to his mother.
Yeah.
And then I realized we're talking to your grandmother.
Yeah, M-U-M. Kind of like a Brit.
But it's your grandmother.
Mom. Yeah, I mean, I think like my brother picked it.
I get it. You're trying to make her feel young. I love it.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, honestly, I usually refer to her as my granny or my gam just because I think that's funnier. But her name is M-U-M, Mum.
Mum.
Her actual name is Mum?
Mum.
No, her name's Dr. Morris, but...
She was a doctor?
Yeah, she's PhD.
Really?
Yeah, growing up as my
friend. This is an interesting point. Like, even PhDs oftentimes don't know about how personal finance works.
I always had a PhD.
Some of the smartest people.
Yeah. And that's the thing. She doesn't know much. Let's get another caller question in. This is about something called hedging. Someone said, what is hedging? Is that just edging but with stocks?
Okay. We're going to move on.
Someone also asked, what's basis points versus percentage of assets? What is the difference between that? Someone wanted to know what would make more sense for...
So, like, I never talk about basis points with clients because people don't understand that.
Yeah, I'll be honest.
Let's just say it's 0.75%. Stick with me here for a second.
Okay.
0.75%.
Yeah.
That would be 75 basis points.
Okay, I just heard Danilo say basis points versus percentage of assets.
A cool term.
I wrote that.
Dude, if you throw around basis points, like if you're at a bar and you're like, hey, how many basis points are we talking here? That you might get some digits.
Let's bar it. Yeah. I'm gonna use that. All right, let me look for some more on my phone. People texted. Yeah, I know he's saying. Okay, if your partner makes more money,
dude. You're crazy.
If your partner makes more money than you, should they be paying more rent?
Are we like renting an apartment? Is this like renting an apartment?
Let's say an apartment.
Like, are we talking someone doesn't have income and someone's making 200, 300
I would say like you move in with a girlfriend, someone's making...
No, I would say like you should be paying your fair share. You know, you'd split it in half.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I agree to that.
Make it easy.
Your house is on fire and your wife...
But if someone needs help, like I have clients where they're like, hey, I'm in between jobs and I can't make this work, right?
Yeah.
They're living with their significant other. Like, you're a team. You gotta help each other out if that's what you plan to do long term, you know?
Ever since my boy John quit his job, I get the feeling that he might not be paying 50-50 on the rent. I'm not positive.
Now, is your boy John like trying to take advantage of this situation, or is he like...
No, I think he's pretty damn in love, I'll be honest. Yeah.
Love will do that to you.
Love will do that. Yeah. And that's the thing. I'm hoping to find it.
Your mom loves you.
She does, bro.
Yeah. You're rich in happiness.
And also, she always gets me the sickest gift every year for birthday or Christmas and shit. And
so instead of getting you like a sick gift, which I know you love, like give me an example. What kind of gift?
So last year she got me the Born X Raised Detroit Lions T-shirt.
That's tough to beat because you're like
Well, here's the thing. I sent it to her, and then so we're at birthday dinner. And by the way, my family always goes to the best dinner of the year on my birthday because it's like our first time all being back together for Christmas. So we go to this great dinner. I open up my Born and Raised shirt, Lions collab. And then my next gift is from my mom.
Is this your mom or your mom?
So I open my mom. It's the T-shirt Born and Raised Lions shirt. And then I'd open the next gift, and it's the Born and Raised Lions
So
hoodie.
how much did those shirts cost?
I'd say the shirt was probably $75, and the hoodie was probably $150.
Okay, so let's
shipped.
What if they just put that money from the time you were 1 year old into an investment account for you? Every single birthday.
Yeah.
Do you think you would have more or less money now? And do you think you'd be better off or worse off?
Okay. You're starting to patronize me a little bit, but I get what you're trying to say. And it would be nice.
I'm just trying to help you.
I mean, help them, help me. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not, if I could go grab my dad's financial advisor and smack him around a little bit and say,
do that.
Hey, maybe buy me Disney for my 3rd birthday, then I'd be rich now. That'd be cool.
There's some other stocks you could buy other than Disney.
I mean, apparently this company's been investing in NVIDIA for over a decade. No one told me.
You weren't working here a decade ago.
Still.
All right. I'll get you some stocks.
All right. We'll talk to Mia. All right. What else should we talk about today? I got a whole list of things.
I have a quick idea.
Yeah, let's go.
Can maybe we fill Sage, like what's been your, we all know you make a decent income working here.
I say we say the exact number. Did we celebrate my raise yet?
No, we're not going to do that specifically, but we're going to talk about, why haven't you been, I know you're saving $600 per month now.
Yep.
But, based on some previous conversations with some of the advisors, they've all advised you could be saving more than that. So like maybe fill in Sage on why you are not able to do that. Like,
well, my other investments.
What's your big roadblock?
Private investments.
And maybe Sage knows about this, but
now you know about Big and Bleached, obviously.
Tell me more.
Well, I buy shirts and then I bleach them.
This is not what I was referring to. I mean, what are you spending your money on? It's not just the shirts. It's like it's more so you're spending too much money and you're not budgeting correctly for the month. Which leaves you with
I eat good, live good, smoke good.
So let's talk about that. Like, how do we have, just to be another advisor who talks to you about those
I almost
decisions.
ate a gummy before this, but he told me not to. So
I didn't even tell you anything.
I told him not to.
No, he told me not
to. Do whatever you want.
He actually told me I could ask Mia because I asked him a few times, and then he said, all right, go talk to Mia then. And then Mia said no. So
we're like Chase's parents. If one of us says no, he goes and asks the other person.
Chase, you got to grow up a little bit.
What's wrong with that? It's good to be a kid. And also, I asked you if I could ask Mia because my dad would get pissed if he said no and I asked my mom. He'd freaking not like that.
All right, let's talk about your spending.
But sometimes I'd say, okay, I know you said no, but can I go ask mom? And then he'd be like, all right, go ask her.
What are you spending money on, and why can't you put away more than?
We already did this. I hate this.
Just fill them in.
I could sit here and tell you, hey, save your money and, save 10 to 20% of your income, blah, 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 right?
But
and
what's going to make
you need to do that.
Yeah.
But what you really need is some motivation.
Yeah.
You need some motivation to quit trying to find finance and hire a good financial advisor.
Yeah.
Like myself, to give you some sage advice.
Oh, I've already got a great financial advisor.
Okay, great. Then use your financial advisor.
Okay.
But focus on what you do well.
Okay,
right?
which is what?
You tell me. What do you do well?
I bleach t-shirts. I'm a good painter.
I think you're good. I think you're good at helping advisors market their business.
Yeah, okay. I like that.
I think you're good at that. And let people out there in the world know that we exist.
Okay.
Okay?
That's what we're doing today,
and if
right?
you do that really well,
I'll get a raise.
You will have money one day, right?
Okay.
And you will have money for us to manage it, and you will have lots of it, and we'll make you more of it.
Yeah, Mia. Okay.
How about that?
I like that. That's a good plan. Let's keep going.
So I was like so curious. I was like, everybody is using like this ChatGPT thing, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, tell me about Chase. Tell me about Chase, this guy Chase that's finding finance.
Let's go.
Right?
Am I on there?
Here's what they had to say with a little bit of twist. This is some sage twist to it. Woo. Says, Chase had always been the creative type. Yeah. So landing a marketing role at a wealth management firm felt a little out of character.
Okay.
He could build a brand and launch a social media campaign.
Easy.
But finance, he barely understood his 401k.
Damn.
Determined to make it grow.
Yeah.
He made it his mission to find finance, to understand the value behind every chart and his portfolio.
Okay.
He started small, taking lunch breaks with advisors, learning the basics of investing, and even setting up his first Roth IRA. Did you do that?
I did it.
Nice.
I got 2 now.
As he absorbed more, you have 2 Roth IRAs?
I got a Roth and another Roth.
Oh, you're talking about a Roth 401k. Yeah, that's another episode. I heard you talk about that.
Ross and Vanilla, match me up.
As he absorbed more, he realized he could actually use this knowledge. Instead of splurging on new gadgets and drinks, he started building an emergency fund and invested in low-cost funds with his new financial advisor, Sage.
Man, he's all serious for a second. It got funny.
I'm not done yet. Oh, his career took off, too, with a fresh perspective on marketing and an eye for financial strategy.
Oh, man.
Chase crafted content that resonated with younger clients, demystifying finance with relatable stories. Soon, he was promoted, not just for his marketing skills, but because he truly got what the firm was about.
Yeah.
It was then he started making money, paying taxes too, and finding his way in finance. Not only was he focused on growing his own wealth, but helping others feel like they could too. And as he saw his investments grow through saving and investing, he realized finance wasn't a foreign language anymore. He wanted to share this knowledge with the world and make sure everyone has the sage advice they need. And as time went on, Chase stopped chasing money and started chasing his true purpose, bridging the gap between other people and their financial futures.
Wow. Sage, I don't know what to say. It's like...
Are you going to cry?
I've never had anyone write something just so thoughtful and...
I didn't write it. Meaningful. I did a little bit, but...
There was a little Sage twist in there.
The end, yeah.
I could hear your heart in it more than anything. And, you know, the fact that you really...
I care about you, man.
I never knew that till now. It's funny, you know, I never knew you had a way with words the way you do, but it really means a lot to know how much you care. And yeah, I've got a problem, but who doesn't? And I'm young, and I'm surrounded by people that care about me, that could really help me get my shit together. So... I just want to say from the bottom of my heart that this was definitely a big wake-up call and really opened up to not only my past, not only my present, but my future. And, you know, I've talked a big game on here, but this might be the push I need to really take action and start contributing more money and work on an emergency fund. And, you know, maybe I'll even stop going to the strip club too. So... that's what it's going to take. That's what it's going to take. And, you know, I just, it means a lot.
Should we like hug now?
It means a lot. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's hug. All right, another question from Ziad Hijazi. Is it ethical to fart in the workplace if it's after 5 p.m.?
I can tell you Ziad does. So
okay.
Like if he's asking that, I don't even know why he's asking that, because he just called himself unethical if he doesn't think that that's ethical.
Well,
but I like Ziad though. So he, I mean, like he carries, he has a Febreze next to his desk.
Oh, I've seen it.
Yeah. I'm not going to connect any dots here, but I'm just saying he has a Febreze in his office.
Enough said. Enough said.
Sorry, Z. We can cut that clip.
All right, let me read some more. I texted a lot of people. They're going to be mad if I don't read any of their questions. One person said, and this is from Zach.
Who?
What about Zach something like, my partner hates XYZ brand, but I'm already invested in it. Should I sell it or not? Should we invest in companies we ethically don't believe in to make money? Obviously, crypto is a huge one. CEOs with big political lies, etc.
I mean, I don't know what XYZ company is.
And then I said, I like that a lot. Just got to think of a funny brand. And then he said Chipotle. Ha, 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 ha.
Chipotle is it's not Chipotle. It's Chipotle.
Oh, yeah, Chipotle. Yeah.
I used to pronounce it like that when I was like 12 years old. Anyways.
Now it's called a bit.
XYZ company, I don't know what company that is, so we would need to first find out what company we're referring to before I can give that answer.
Sure. Well, let's just say a certain EV company that you really liked that recently got extremely political, and let's say your partner is on the other side of the political spectrum. But
where are we trying to go with this? You have like...
I'm just reading through my text. When can we hang out next? I missed that weird furry sheet on your bed. All right. Skip that one.
There's a lot of biases that people do. What, I mean...
Voter bias?
Voter bias?
Voter
bias. Tell me more?
Yeah, voter bias is basically like the distance from the shore always looks different than it actually is, or like vice versa. So that's just one thing. Halloween bias too. Do you know about that?
No.
It's kind of like about everything has a mask, right? It's kind of like Gilded Age, where it's like your bias you might think that it's a monster, but really it's just, your gym teacher, or you might think that girl's really hot because it's Halloween and she's dressed up as, one of your favorite childhood princesses. And then the next day you see her and she's not dressed as a princess or a cheerleader or, like sexy Buzz Lightyear. And then you're like, oh, maybe I am not in love with her the way I thought I was. That's Halloween bias.
Have you ever heard of endowment bias?
Endowment bias? No, but can I guess what it is?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's see
so
if you're
basically, right. What does well endowed mean? Is it like you've got good genes or whatever?
I don't know what we're talking about here.
So well endowed means... Okay, yeah. Alex is
so endowment effect. Basically, as an investor, you tend to overvalue the investments that you would like inherit, and basically causing you to not sell an investment. Like if you inherited Apple stock, which is a great company, probably want to hold some of it depending on the amount, right? But you would not sell it just because you received
it for free.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So that's a big bias.
Endowment. And so endowment just means you got something from someone else that died, right?
That would be called inheritance.
Oh, wait, what's endowment then?
Endowment would be like for example, I'll just give you an example. At Cal Poly, we have, for the golf program, we had an endowment fund, right? And basically there was a lump sum of money that was put up and we get it at over 10-year period. The program gets it over a 10-year period. That's an endowment. Cal Poly, San Luis Obispo. Not the other Cal Poly, Pomona. Yeah, you probably never heard of it before.
Actually, my friend's a coach there. Shout out to Vice Money, D-backs coach, former player. But here's my other thing. Ethical debate.
You got a lot of things.
Sent in by Andres, yeah. Should parents leash their children, ethically speaking?
Like a dog leash?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to do that.
You don't even have a kid, Sage.
I don't have a kid.
So how do you know?
But I have a 529 plan.
Hey! Okay, when's it due?
My 520.
No, the kid. Wait. Oh, you don't have a kid. I thought you were saying...
You can have a 529 plan and not have a kid.
I thought you were saying you named the kid 529.
No. 520...
Wait.
Has anybody taught you anything so far?
I've heard some things about 529.
That was me.
Oh, that's okay.
So a 529 plan is a college savings plan.
Yeah.
You do know what it is.
Your articles for the last year, Sage. Did you know that you can actually roll it over?
To?
IRA.
You can roll it over to a Roth IRA.
See, Mia?
It has to be open for 15 years.
Yeah.
You can only do the annual limit each year, which is currently 7,000.
Yeah, obviously.
You know those rules?
Sure. What else?
Dude, 529 plan is a great account to have. You got to listen. Remember?
Okay,
Go back to listening.
Sorry, I'm just kidding.
529 plan is a great account to have because you can put in money.
Yeah.
Or your grandparents or parents can put in money. You already passed college, so you got to start thinking about like your future kids. And there you may have some already, but you set up a 529 plan. Right? For your future kids, you put in money and it can grow tax-free for them. It's essentially like the Roth IRA for kids' college.
Oh.
And as you know, education's super expensive. So you can invest that money. It can grow for an 18-year period if you have a kid who's, just being born right now. And it can also be an estate planning tool, right? Because you're getting money out of your estate and it can
what
be
if
passed
I want
along
to go back to school?
Generations.
Can I use it if I want to go back to school?
Yeah, if you want.
It's amazing.
Qualified education. Who are we calling now?
It's amazing. Surprise.
Yo.
Sub teen.
What's up, big doggy?
You are live on my podcast.
Oh,
say hello to the viewers.
Hey, viewers. How you guys doing?
Hello.
I'm here with Sage and
How are you?
Alex. Sage is our licensed therapist / financial advisor / CFP. Really, he's not licensed, but he was a psychology minor, so I figured that...
Did I just get booked into am I in a therapy session? Is that what you just told me?
That's kind of what you told me. I told you. I saw that you were... I was asking you for some ethical debate questions, and I saw you typed out a paragraph. I didn't want to be rude to Sage and read my text, so I thought I would just call you while he was talking.
How do you guys know each other, by the way?
He was in our same work program with Mia, actually.
Oh, nice.
Mia's here.
What did you guys do for work?
That's what's up. Hey, Mia.
We worked in a trash dump when we met, and then we both elevated to different jobs.
Nice.
I worked for the Jesuit priests, and Tino.
What do I do now? I work in film. So
nice.
Not only going from a trash camp or a trash dump to film, I feel like that type of comedy is definitely up my alley too. So I definitely don't have an issue with the Kilturn stuff.
You glowed up.
Tino's a very good writer and an even better director. Check out some of my music videos he's directed.
Okay, this isn't a pitch to just pitch your.
Well, it's his work too.
Okay.
He's directed the music video.
How has the film industry been going? I have clients in that space. I have a lot of friends in that space, and it seems like if you're working for a large company, and you haven't been laid off, like things are going fairly well. But if you're doing your own thing, it's just been really tough out there.
It definitely has been. It's got its ups and downs. I've been really blessed, honestly, the last 2 years. Last year was better than this year. But I've been blessed more than some others, this year. And there's not a big, it's not really too terrible right now. I've had some months where we're still working. I'm fully freelance, so I'm not with a company or anyone. But I work for a few different producers and studios and companies and whatnot that'll hire me out to do their labor. But yeah, so it's not.
That's what happens when you're talented.
Terrible, but it's definitely not good. What were you saying?
I said that's what happens when you're talented. People just want to keep working.
Yeah,
with you.
I appreciate that. No,
maybe not Denmark, but that might be my fault.
No, I know that's a whole different story.
Oopsies.
Does he work with Mia as well on financial plans?
No. I don't know if he's gonna get an advisor, it's probably gonna be Mia. They're student worker family, but
that's what's up, bro. It's crazy that you say that because I got called by somebody who's a financial advisor and just got into it last week, and they're setting up a meeting with me tomorrow. Trying to get me.
Does he work at Gerber Kawasaki Wealth Management?
So you guys got to come in. And,
whoa. Okay, you are a Mia Sampson client through and through.
Oh, he already works with Mia?
No, but
thanks for coming on.
Thank you again for coming on, Teen. I love you, bro. Let's hang soon.
I love you guys too. All right, man. I'll see y'all.
Peace, dude.
Dude, he loves me. He said I love you guys
and
too.
You still haven't said it back to anyone.
It's something that I'm working on. It takes a while. So here's the thing: it takes a while to build trust for me with other people, right? So we're working on that and building our trust.
I feel like we've come a long way just today, honestly.
Yeah, we've come a really long way, and I think that's one of the things too. Like when you're working with a financial advisor or someone like him, where he's interviewing other advisors that he's trying to find the right fit, like. You shouldn't expect to fully trust someone and for them to fully trust you right off the bat, right? Like it takes time to build trust over years and sometimes even decades to really trust someone.
Yeah.
And, that shouldn't be kind of the reason that you don't build a financial plan with a competent advisor. But I will say it takes a while to trust someone and go with their recommendations as soon as they give you the advice and do all the things that you need to do. So I think it's we're in the relationship building business, and
true.
That's super important for us.
I know, and I feel like I'm kind of an anomaly, right? Like my financial advisor,
you're an anomaly.
She actually got me off the streets, right? So she gives me this job. I've known her for a while. I'm like, she's like, okay, now you got to give me a couple $100 a month. I was just like, okay, sure.
You know that's not going to her pocket. That's going into your investment account.
I honestly still don't really know where it's going, but all I know is I'm up to $600 a month. So kind of a lot. If you ask me.
Should be more than that. You could afford more.
Dude, they're really pushing you. Like,
I don't get it.
Like, you're saving 10 to 20% of your income.
Thank you.
And like, sounds like you're doing a good job. Like, I don't, and this is where we're building trust, right? Yeah. Like I don't know if you're lying to me or not. Like, I would need to see your investment accounts, bank accounts, your entire financial situation. You don't have to give me access, but like I'm trusting you on this one. It sounds like, you know, you're doing all the right things.
I think I've come a long way.
And it's not like you're not going to, you know, people always want to be the get rich quick, right? Yeah. Where they hit the lotto and then now they have all this money and they never have to worry again. That's not really how it works. Like it can, but most of the time when you're building wealth, it takes years and decades to build wealth, and it takes a lot of discipline to do it.
Yeah.
And so you shouldn't expect yourself to do it overnight. If you're disciplined enough and you work with a good advisor and you grow in your career, you're going to be successful and you're going to have plenty of money to do all the things that you want to do in life.
Thank you. And it's nice to hear that after Alex frequently tells me I'm going to be poor.
Listen, you've gotten a lot of advice. If you do 10 of these podcasts, you're going to get 10 different advice. You're doing it with a lot of Gerber Kawasaki advisors, so we're all going to recommend a similar thing for you. But generally speaking, everyone has their own little twist to it, right? And ways of approaching it. And so my job for you is to help build your confidence, right? And knowing that you're going to grow in your career and make more money over time.
Exactly.
That's what you got to bet on yourself. And if you do that well and you start saving, and as your income increases, you start saving more and more of your income, I know. And
that's the thing I'm always telling my advisor, because my advisor is also my direct superior. I'm telling her, the more money you give me, the more money you give me, the more money I'll invest. So why are you getting mad at me because I'm not investing my money? Give me a 20, 30, 40 grand raise.
I don't know.
That's an extra.
I don't know your relationship.
Thousands of dollars in your pocket.
Yeah, I don't know your relationship. I sit on the other side of the office, but it seems like you got to work that part out. But
no, I think it's a good thing. It keeps me honest.
Cool.
The only reason that I say that you should be doing more is because you're the same amount that or more than you're putting into your investment accounts, you're spending on eating out. Like,
and that's the other thing is not only my direct superior, but my direct superior sitting next to me every day is my second financial advisor, and he's always telling me I'm poor and mismanaging my money too.
I didn't say you're poor.
How do you think that feels?
You're spending you're spending a lot more money on like taking girls on dates and buying drinks in the liquor store.
Yeah,
that's a fine love out here.
You're in LA. You're in LA, dude.
So
just because he has a wife doesn't mean
he does have a wife. Let me. I don't know if I made this clear earlier. Okay. You do need to watch your spending, and you do need to make sure you're saving money. But right now, what you should focus on is growing your income, right?
Yeah.
Expenses never go away. Expenses never go away. In retirement, what do you think is more important? Income or expenses?
Expenses.
Expenses are very important in retirement.
Yeah.
Sure, you got to be in a good financial situation to retire and make sure you have the cash flow. But right now, you're in like the wealth. Wow.
Yeah, you got it. Wealth building.
That's how you know this podcast has gone on too long. You're in the wealth building stage of your life, and you need to focus on growing your income more over time.
You know what Danilo always tells me?
Tells you a lot of things, like go and do your job because you're walking around the office talking to people and just hanging out. And you're a great guy. Like we love spending time with you and hanging out.
My job is building morale. That's like 90% of it. Giving out fist bumps.
I know. I don't like. I'm a finance guy. I'm not a marketing guy. So you keep doing your thing.
You wouldn't get it.
And you don't get finance either.
Well, I get some things, and also Mia keeps texting me more.
All right, I got meetings to get to, so we got
let's wrap it up here, ladies and gentlemen.
Hour on the dot.
It's not about how much you make; it's about how much you save.
Ooh,
and that's
never said that one before.
That's kind of the most important thing we're trying to get at. Is am I piss rich on paper? Sure. But do I have any actual money? No. I didn't even want to go through my checking account today because I didn't even want people to know. Okay? To sum things up, I don't know when this is dropping. Let's say it's in December. It could be around my birthday. Send me some money. It's my birthday, for Christ's sake.
Put it in his investment account.
Put it in my investment account. Directly. Send it to me directly. Don't send it to me directly. Buy a Bleach t-shirt. Repost this podcast. Comment, like, subscribe, all these things. I haven't really been saying that these first episodes because we didn't really think we were going to get approved. Shout out to Alex, has been an editing wizard. Bleeped and taken out most of the bad stuff so that it actually seems pretty coherent these first couple episodes. I'm watching them back. It's like, okay, someone might actually, learn something off this, and we're definitely excited about that. What else is happening?
Who else do you want to thank for this podcast? Did you learn anything? Like, tell me like 2 things that you learned.
The Rizzler and the Costco guy were on Jimmy Fallon last night. We didn't even talk about that.
No, tell me 2 finance things that you learned. You can't use your notes.
Should we do a couple more call-ins though?
No, I don't have time for that. But
can I afford
what else do you want to learn? Like, what are your goals with your money? What else do you want to learn?
I don't know, dude. I just really
you're just going day by day.
I'm just taking this day by day.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think that really it's some sort of like.
I'll teach you whatever you want to learn.
Okay. What was the name of this episode? Oh, also, wait, for I wrap it up, how many EV companies can you name?
Lots.
Because there's some I was like going to ask about, but I didn't even actually know their names. So I know about Tesla, Rivian, Waymo.
Polestar,
and then what's the other one?
There was this company called FUV that was, remember they're making those like little things driving around, and they're like little...
mouse droids?
Huh?
The mouse droids?
No.
Oh, well, we used to have those, like the food carriers.
I mean, basically every car company is an EV company now in a way with all the hybrids, you know?
Chrysler Lightning or whatever.
Yeah.
Ford Lightning.
You got it.
Okay. Cool.
Is there anything like important? Anything?
I mean, I have some ethical questions. I don't know if you want to like deep dive into my brain, but I've been going through some things in relationships that I'm just like.
Alex, any questions to wrap us up here? He's trying to get back to his relationship issues, and I think we should stay on topic here, which, you know, maybe that plays a little bit into your finances, but I'm trying to help you out, you know, financially. And
I think the
really
relationship
helpful stuff will fall into place. You know?
I'll be honest, this is the first episode I didn't actually write anything down on my notepad.
That's great. Dude, and yeah, I'll send you a recap afterwards.
Is AI taking notes here?
Yeah. But if you make money, I think the relationship stuff will fall into place. Like, you're gonna have.
That's what my whole goal for this year is just get richer and get handsomer. And so it's like I'm starving myself because I'm trying to lose weight so I look good on this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And then people are bringing spaghetti and meatballs, leaving it in the fridge. Like, I'm just gonna eat that to prove a point. You know what I mean?
Health is wealth.
Health is wealth, bro. And I've only got a couple more years of insurance. I've got this thing on my back. I think it's cancer.
Insurance?
I've got it checked twice.
You have health insurance.
Every time I get it, they say it's not cancer, but if it gets any bigger, come back. I'm like, okay. And it got bigger. Came back. If it gets any bigger, come back. It's getting bigger.
It was a thing on your back. Dude, are you telling this story to people you go on dates with? This is why you're not having a second date.
No.
Oh.
Well, I mean...
No, he's not having
at the end of the date, they might notice it, but it's a different thing.
There was definitely some good stuff here.
It hurts a little bit.
I'm excited.
There was some good stuff and there was some bad stuff.
I'm excited.
This has been a lot of cutting out that you got.
This is how it all is. I was always cutting out.
Alex has been quiet. How does this compare to our
I gotta go, guys.
Episodes?
I gotta go help my clients make financial plans, manage their money. Goodbye.
He has to sign you off.
Let me sign you off real quick, though.
Okay.
If I could describe Sage's clients in one word.
Oh, he's going to say something good.
Grateful. Because not only is Sage grateful to have them, but they're grateful to have Sage.
I love that. That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
If your girlfriend's going out for Halloween without you.
I got a meeting. I got to go.
That's unethical.
I got to go. I got to go
leaving?
help clients. I got to go make money.
But Alex is your client. That's your client right there.
It was a pleasure.
It was a pleasure
being on your podcast.
You mean it?
I mean it.
He's saying really nice things right here.
Required.
Say in the mic real quick.
This was you forced me to do this.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I did it.
I'm glad you did it too, Sage.
I wish you the best of luck in finding finance.
All right. Maybe in a couple years you'll come on again.
We'll see.
All right.
Let me know if you need any help.
I like it. 2028. Get ready. All right.
Nothing but trouble on my mind. That's the attitude that got my ass off the sidelines. You either ride pine and cry about playing time, or you play the game divine.